A lot of you guys know the story already about how he, I wrote it after he chopped off one of his toes with his lawnmower, and people are clapping. That's disgusting. I will say that since then, there's another friend in Nashville who had an accident. It was with a horse, and he's a bass player, and he lost his thumb. So I'm currently writing a song for him, and that will be part of my amputee trilogy, which only has 2 songs. It's an amputee of itself. So, but this is the original. Actually, the guy who lost his thumb, his name is Matt Pearson. He played bass on Jill's record played bass on both of our records, but for your last record, he played like a week after he lost his thumb, so he was still on serious drugs.
And on pain medication, and he played an 8-hour day in the studio. That is hardcore, ladies and gentlemen. He lives on a farm, and he's made of strong stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not super strong, apparently. I lost the thumb. There's other guys in Nashville. There's a guy named Billy Brimblecom, who's a drummer, who plays with Waterdeep. He's missing a leg. You all know Phil King's missing a finger. They really are talking about having a band. First name was going to be the Plain White Amputees, and then they changed it to Less Is More. And I can't wait for them to do something. It's going to be awesome. So this song, when I found out that Andy had the accident with his lawnmower, I was kind of shocked. And the guy who told me, the one question I could think to ask him was, which toe was it? Because I wanted to know what his foot looked like. And he told me it was the long toe, which could be any toe, really. I mean, it's most likely the one next to the big toe. But I mean, you just go to like a water park and just look down. It's weird. So that's when I realized that we don't have names for toes like we have fingers. All the fingers have names. Some fingers have multiple names, so I won't go into it. But the toes, there aren't names for it. But I said, wait, was it the one that stayed home from the market? And I said, yeah, it was the one that stayed home from the market. Got that cleared up. At night on the way home, I was thinking, well, what should I do? Like, I wasn't sure I should call Andy, because it had been a couple weeks at this point since the accident. And I'd heard that they took him to the hospital, and they put it back on, and that it didn't take. Which I think is like the technical Latin phrase for turn black. And so they took it back off, and so all this stuff happened, and I was thinking, well, I could call him, but I'm sure he can hear the smile in my voice, which is just me. So I was like, well, I'm not going to call him. But, I talked earlier about how much I love my old baseball hat. I love old things. I saw my wallet from the 4th grade, and, it doesn't get any older than something you were born with that was part of your body. So as much as I'd hate to lose my wallet or my hat, I mean, that was his toe. So I thought, well, at least he deserves to have a song about, kind of in honor, like what we would sing at the Toe's funeral, just kind of like wrap up his life story. I started writing this song, and then once I started, another friend told me that I had the wrong information, and it wasn't the one that stayed home from the market. So I changed it to this. He had roast beef for his last meal. His brothers went to market and to home. He was cut off from his family, 'cause he wanted to find freedom on his own. He saw his big chance for an escape, and helicopter rotating blade, and said goodbye to the pigsty. Quick as a guillotine, he was gone. And all his brothers' jealous Something was afoot there in that shoe. But they all stuck together 'cause there's nothing they could do. He went from right there in the middle to smack dab in the center of attention. He was picked up, he was cradled, he was given his own freezer back to live in. For the first time in his long life, he felt the sunshine on every side. So he set sail like a hangnail and waved back to the shore goodbye. His brothers always said it was so crowded. Maybe now they finally have some space. But they were out of balance there without him in his place. So he came back from vacation, out of family obligation, and rejoined with those four vandals for the sake of wearing flip-flops. Now we can't say he did not try. He gave up all his chances to be free. Once you felt that kind of sunshine, you can't go back to the way you used to be. So when I look down and remember something's missing in the middle, may it always be a symbol. One day that will be me.